tell you all a phenomenal story. A story of a people who rose up against injustice. A story of a people who rose up against injustice so that you and I can live a dignified existence. This is the story of Rابعه. For those who don't know, Rابعه is the name of a famous square in Egypt and also means the fourth in Arabic. And Rابعه, brothers and sisters, is where our story begins. On the 3rd of July 2013, Egyptians woke up to the shocking news that a military coup had taken place in their beloved country. A coup overthrowing Egypt's first democratically elected Egyptian civilian president. The same coup that shut down various channels that existed to show the other opinion, that existed to show the real face of a military coup. A military coup throwing Egypt back decades away from its newfound democracy. And this is where the heroes of our story come in. Egyptians from all walks of life risked their lives and decided that enough was enough. They gathered peacefully in the Rابعه Square and in all the cities and squares of Egypt for over 48 days. Why? Because they believed in freedom, they believed in democracy, and they believed in justice. Rابعه was a spectacular example of peace and unity. I want you to imagine doctors, sheikhs, students, women, men and children just like you and I protesting every day under the blistering Egyptian sun. Their stomachs rumbling with a long day's fast through the whole month of Ramadan. Their feet aching, throats parched from chanting, their voices hoarse, but above all, with a dignified smile on their faces. Because they were standing up for the truth. Because they believed in a better tomorrow. Into your mind. Remember the children's faces smiling as they're holding up placards saying, "Remember me." Remember the scenes of the protesters praying all night and chanting all morning. Keep that image of Rابعه in your minds as I move you on to another fateful date. The 14th of August 2013. Here, our story takes a sharp and distressing turn. That day, Egypt witnessed the worst state-led massacre in its history. We're talking about women, men and children being killed in cold blood. We're talking about over 2,600 people being killed for no charge and no crime, except that they dared come out and call for freedom and democracy in their own country. It was a day that marked the complete massacre and annihilation of any form of freedom and democracy in Egypt and any of its supporters. It was a day where bodies, tents, makeshift hospitals, and even the local mosque were burnt and torched down. It was a day where bulldozers closed off exits of Rابعه and all the cities and squares of Egypt. It was a day where the military forces and the police fired tear gas and live bullets into the crowd, not sparing anyone, young or old, woman or man. I want you to imagine a student who always came first in their class, who always kept Egypt's minds in their future, waking up for another day of protest, kissing their parents, brothers and sisters goodbye, not knowing it would be for the very last time. I want you to remember a man named Ahmed Asim, a man who came to convey and portray the truth through the lens of his camera. The camera that filmed his own death. I want you to feel the despair his family had felt, to replay and replay and replay his last video, wondering and asking why and what he'd done to be killed. I want you to feel the pain of the oldest grandfather who slept on Egypt's tarmac and used the pavement as his pillow, standing up to protest. Why? Because he wouldn't let his children and grandchildren live through the 60 years of oppression, humiliation and injustice he had to live through. I want you to know of the mother who came to protest together with her 17-year-old daughter. That day, she only left with her daughter's body. She was shot not once, not twice, but 3 times. These are not just numbers. We are not just numbers. Our story does not end here. You can change that ending. Our heroes did not stop asking for their rights while the military continues to violate human rights daily. Our heroes did not stop protesting peacefully and will not stop protesting peacefully until democracy is restored and until the revolution that inspired the world is reclaimed. As fellow humans, we are duty-bound to uphold the basic values we all hold dear: freedom, dignity, and social justice. I urge you to write to your local MPs, attend demonstrations, and raise awareness in your schools and universities. Speaking out for truth and justice is not a choice. It is an obligation and a responsibility amongst each and every one of us. Because today here at GPU and the rest of the world, we are all Rابعه. Thank you. That today marks 100 days after the Rابعه massacre. This symbol is the symbol of perseverance. It is the symbol of resistance. It is the symbol of hope. As GPU, can we all please raise our Rابعه signs for the cameras and for the world to know that we stand in solidarity with Egyptians. Thank you.